to Unified Love Couples Ministry with your host, Senior Pastor and Apostle Reese. Join us as we share biblical principles for successful relationships and marriage. And now, Senior Pastor Olden and Apostle LaShawn Reese.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. God bless you. I'm missing my co-host. He will be here in a few minutes. Hey, sis. Yes, he is late. But those that know me know that I don't like to go live late. All right. So we'll just wait a few minutes while everyone is logging in. Thank you so much. I see you coming in on tonight. Yes. This is Unified Love Couples Ministry, the place where two hearts meet. If you don't mind sharing the broadcast, inviting others to come on, yes. Even those that are not married, they can be single, but if you know that they want a mate, please invite them. Because we cover singles, we cover divorcees, we cover those that, hey, I see you, auntie and uncle. Thank you so much for logging in on tonight. Yes, I see you. All right. My co-host is running late. But while we're waiting, I see you, cuz. Hey, Sean. Thank you so much for logging on tonight. Is Michael there with you? Good evening. Unified Love Couples Ministry. Please share the broadcast. Share. Yes, my husband will be running in a few minutes. Come on, share the broadcast. I am excited about our topic tonight because we know that it takes unity in order to be successful in marriage and relationship. Don't give me that face. Good. Hi, Michael. Thank you for joining tonight. You know how many women wish their husband would sit through a broadcast with them talking about relationships and marriage? Do you know how many women wish their spouses or significant other would even come to counseling with them but refuse to? So, Michael, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining on tonight. Yes. While we're waiting, please share this broadcast. All right. We are live. Unified Love Couples Ministry. All right. Look, y'all can hear him coming in. And he's here.
I'm here.
Yes. Thank you all for logging in on tonight. We're discussing a unified front. A unified front. So we already know when the word unity in there means that it's more than one. So we're coupled together. And a unified front is an alliance against a common enemy. So in relationships, it benefits you that you come together with your spouse. It benefits you that you come together with your significant other. Even if you are not married yet and you're in a relationship, you're engaged, there should be a common ground and you should already be operating in unity. That means that you are unified. That you can come together and agree. The scripture, Amos 3:3 says, can two walk together unless they agree?
Yes.
If we're always at odds with each other, if we're always fighting with each other, if we can't agree on anything, we always combative, not supportive, then guess what? I become my spouse's enemy.
Right.
I've become his enemy. You might say, oh, no, but we've been married for 25 years. But if we cannot come to a common ground, guess what? We are not a unified front. And a unified front is an alliance of groups. So guess what? When two join together, we're one, right?
We're one.
And we're one group. And we are fighting against a common enemy. Yes, the same enemy. Unified. One, bring together. Yes, brought together as one. So when we know that a front is something external,
Right.
that comes in that caused you to face danger or adversity, and it could be something that is set to cause a division between you. So then when you join together and you begin to agree, then you're able to stand against the confrontation,
Hmm.
against whatever is happening to you, against the trauma, against the backlash, the trial, against life's. Every day we have challenges
Yes,
that
we
we
do.
face, and every day don't go as we plan it and we wish it would, but sometimes it doesn't. So
Mhm.
what happens when something happens unexpectedly? Am I able to stand in agreement with my spouse, or is it always a conflict?
Yes.
Y'all talk to me now.
And one thing I want to add on to that, instead of in the middle of situations and problems, instead of arguing with each other, it's better to come together.
Yes.
And try to fix the issue, fix the problem. Being apart, trying to do it by yourself. Oh, I got to do this all by myself. You don't have to do it all by yourself, men of God. You don't have to do it all by yourself, women of God.
Come on.
I'm just letting you know you do it together.
Yes.
2 heads are better than one. So sometimes you may not have the answer, but your wife does. Sometimes you may not have the answer, but your husband does. And if both of you don't have the answer, then you know where to go. Go to God.
That's it.
Because that's who have the final say. That's who have the final answer.
Yes.
So we know that, if you are a husband and wife, you were put together as helpers to one another. And the reason why I say that, help us to one another, because sometimes your wife might have a problem that she needs your help. And sometimes you may have a problem that you need your wife help. Because you can't do it all the time all by yourself. You can't just hold all the weight on yourself. So that's why you married, to have somebody that had your back.
That's it. And if the one that you are with can't have your back, guess what? You're going to suffer defeat because you're fighting alone. You're warring alone. There is no support. And then what happens? Get knocked out, get taken out, because there is no one that is fighting with you. We see you, Neat. Thank you for joining tonight. Yes, Minister Veronica. God, thank you so much for joining on tonight. Y'all know how we do it. You have questions, please drop them in the chat. Yes. And we will address and answer your question.
I want to say this, that we could be just a little bit transparent, just a little bit. A lot of times in the midst of situations in a marriage, it always ends up more than likely into an argument, somebody blaming the other person. Well, we wouldn't be in this particular movie if it wasn't for you, Wow. And sometimes, if your husband came to you and say, hey, this and that, what you think we should do? And you say, okay, I think we can go on with it. But now when it don't go the way you want it to, now you want to go back and blame. Well, you came to me with this. No, it shouldn't even be that way. If he come to you out of respect to let you know what was going on, and he come to you saying, hey, this is what we got to do, and this is what we have to make do with, what you think about, what should we do? I think that's the logical thing. You got some men don't like to go to their wives, don't like to say nothing to them, act like they ain't got a voice or anything in the house, and that shouldn't even be that way.
Yes.
If she's your helpmate, she's not your slave. I'm just going to put it like that. She's not your slave. She's not your errand girl. She's not just your maid. She's not your maid, but she's there to help you.
Yes.
She's there to help you. And in any situations, you should be there to help her. When there is an issue or problem, you should be there, right there, to help your wife. Not saying, well, she didn't help me with this, why should I help her? No, you are a husband and wife. And if you're in a relationship and y'all doing that already, y'all gonna have some issues.
Yes. It's a sad situation when I have to go outside of my union outside of my marriage, outside of my relationship, to get help from someone outside of the relationship when you're right there walking it with me. It's a sad thing that if we cannot rely or depend on each other for support, whether it's emotional support, which is the most of emotional support, because it's hard when dealing with trauma and things that happen in our lives that happen unexpectedly. And if something do happen, I should be able to say, babe, I need your help. I need your strength, without being sassy or ridiculed, or, oh, we going through this again. Oh, why you can't handle this? Oh, I'm coming to you because I need your help.
Yes.
And that's when the counterparts say, you know what? I am your support system. And it should work both ways. We should be the support system for each other. Then we won't have to seek additional assistance outside of our union.
Or you gotta, most women got to talk to their homegirl, or most men got to talk to well, I don't want to say no dog, but they got to go talk to somebody else, another man. And a lot of times the person both of you should be talking to is each other.
Yes.
Because they're not going to be able to help you if there's a situation in your home and there's something that you need to get addressed and to bring out. Who are they to help you? They don't know your marriage. They only know what you tell them.
Right, which will be one-sided.
Yeah, which will always be one-sided. Well, she always putting it on me. Well, anyway, all I'm saying is this. You got to come together. You have to work it out together in your own home. If you're doing that, if you run around this, her, that, and telling them all your business, what good is that to help you in your marriage and to help the situation that y'all facing right then and there?
Yes.
So think logical for a moment. Think logical for a moment. If you have a wife or you have a husband, that's why they are there to help. I thank God, because I got a genius on my hand. When I need something done, I can just say, baby, I need you to do this, because I don't know what I'm doing.
That's why everybody say he's spoiled, but he spoils me too. Look, hey, I don't mind spoiling if I'm being spoiled too. So, and that's, a common ground, common union. I see the comment. It's hard when your husband, I said husband, I'm sorry, spouse, because we're going to assume she's not talking about him. It's hard when your spouse is stubborn. And it is hard.
Yeah.
Because then there's a wall and a barrier. And it's also hard when a spouse is used to getting their way, and the first moment it don't go their way, then they're upset, they're angry, they're mad. It works both ways. But how can we walk or agree, or how is it that, we'll ever get anything accomplished if not together?
That's it.
If not together, we doing our own thing. We, doing our, with no regard to each other.
That so many times. Well, you do what you want to do, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. No, that's not marriage.
Yes.
Because marriage is y'all do whatever y'all do together.
Yes, unified
together.
Front.
So when there's a problem, you let him go. You go and do what you do, and when you got a problem, did he tell you? You go do what you do. Now, who do what in the house? Before you know it, something will happen, and and nobody doing nothing.
Because you thought the other one was going to do it. But when we are in a relationship, we're seeking to be in a relationship, we have to make sure that, look, we know if we stubborn. We know if we hard-headed. We know if we like getting our way. We know if we like all the attention. But guess what? It ain't about us.
Nope.
It's about how we thrive, how we flow together, how we communicate together, how we vibe together. It's about more than about me. I could be like that, stubborn and all that when I was single. But the moment I decided that I wanted to be in a relationship, look, I'm opening myself to invite somebody else in. So if I'm inviting you in, that means that we're walking together as one. Why allow you in and I still want to stay the same way I am? Stubborn. Don't want to hear nothing. It's all about me. I'm independent. I handle my own. I take care of myself. I don't need nothing from you. Then what's the point of becoming together as one? Yeah. Stay single.
No, stay single. The point is the other part. You know the other part. Yeah, the point is the other part. Well, at least he good for something.
Oh my. Because we rather have something than be without.
Yeah.
No.
And it don't care how you treat him or whatever, or he'll be back. But one day you keep treating him like that, one day he ain't gonna be back.
Yes.
He gonna be going bye. So say going bye. Yeah. But my whole thing is, I'm just telling husband and wives, relationship, couples that are in a relationship, check your ego at the door.
Yes.
Check it at the door, because that's not part of marriage. Who's better than who, or who does this better than somebody else? No, you are a team. You are connected, and everything that you do, the devil is waiting and watching to destroy your marriage.
Yes,
he's waiting. He's watching. He's waiting on that moment to come in. I got him now.
Yes.
Now I got him split up. Now, sure, he gonna go and sleep in one room. She gonna go and sleep in the other room. They ain't talking no more. He get up early to leave so he don't have to see her.
Oh my.
Or she get up early, running out the door because she don't want to see him. Don't even say good morning. Don't fix no breakfast. Out the door. Is that a marriage?
What happens when you do go to your spouse for help or just to vent and he makes it about him all the time?
Ooh. The best thing I think is when you are going to him, listen, this is about something I'm going through and I need you to listen. That's simple as that. This is not about you. This is about a situation I have to handle, and I need your help. I need you to help me with this, or I just need to vent. Can I just talk to you for a moment, vent to you, tell you how I feel? Because a lot of times, some people in a marriage, they throw themselves into the problem of what's going on with their wife or their husband. Well, I'm coming to you because I want to talk, because I know maybe you my husband, you my wife. I want to be able to talk to you. If I want to vent, let me talk to you and vent for a little minute. Many times my wife came to me venting. And I sit there and listen and see what she got to say, and I give her my answer. Sometimes you can't put yourself in the middle of whatever that person is going through. But now they're going to start taking all that out on you. So it's best to sit there and listen. And how you start off with that conversation, look, every time I came to you about something that's going on with me, you always making it about you. And it's not about you. It's about what I'm going through right now. And I need your help. I need you to be my husband right now and help me in this situation. I need you to be my husband right now and listen for a moment.
Now, if you're venting about the relationship or something that person has done, or how you were offended, the tables could turn if they're not in agreement with what you're saying.
Yeah, that's another one.
So venting is one thing. I have issues, I have problems, I need to get this off my chest. I need you to listen. But when we're asking or going to them and releasing, now that's the time when I'm not venting, I need to communicate. So I'll allow you time to talk, you allow me time to talk, and we have open communication. And I know that and if this is not the case and they make it about them, then either one of you are going to shut down.
That's right.
And there will be no communicating because of one that has shut down. One is going to get mad, upset. I'm trying to tell you what's going on, and it's all about you. It's always about you. When you gonna listen and help me? So, and another thing is how we approach the situation.
Yeah.
If we come in already upset, if we come in already aggravated, and we expect that we're gonna have a decent conversation, we're not, because all of our frustrations of whatever the problem is that involve that person is going to leak on them. Yes, and they're going to retaliate, or they're going to become defensive.
Very defensive.
So we have to make sure how we handle the situation.
Now, I don't know, like my wife said, I was generally talking about if you just venting about something that happened to you that has nothing to do with your spouse. Now, if there is about, like my wife said, there is about your spouse, one thing we always say, stop, breathe for a moment before you say anything, and then, you know, make sure your mind is clear. You're not there yelling, you're not there screaming, you're not there going off, but hey, honey.
And he just confirmed that it's the way she comes to him.
See? So you need to come to him better.
Yes.
Honey, listen, can I talk to you for a moment? Can I tell you, there's a little situation. It's a husband and wife situation. Can we talk about it for a moment? Can me and you just talk? Can I tell you how I feel? And then you tell me after I done saying what I'm saying, then you tell me how you feel about what I said. I think that's the best way to do it. If you come in there yelling and you gonna listen to me, first thing they're gonna get defensive. I'm talking about man and female. They're gonna get defensive and they're gonna start roaring back.
Because you roared at me?
Yeah,
so
you roared
back at you.
Lioness. You roared at me.
No. You said lioness.
I'm gonna roar at you.
That's it.
So the best way is to always just really take your time and breathe for a moment. If it's something that has to do with the husband, breathe for a moment before you speak. You know, with a soft voice, you're going to draw him to want to talk about it. But if you have a harsh voice, he ain't going to listen to you.
Nope. That's another argument for the books. And then how do we stay unified? We're not a unified front.
Right.
Because we're arguing, we're fussing. So as other things come in, and believe me, it will, to trigger us, to make us mad and upset, we end up taking it out on each other because we're not unified. So when do we come together and say, you know what? Enough is enough. I ain't fussing. I ain't fighting no more. Let's pray. When do we say, let's pray?
When do we say,
let's sit down and put out a plan, an action plan of how we can work our relationship out? I said action plan, so that reminded me, I'm going to do a little plug here. Action plan. This is our workbook. And our workbook, it has activities. You're going to create an action plan. And for 21 days, each day, you're going to be in this book together. And look, you don't even have to buy 2 books. It's 1 per couple. So as you work the same book, you're doing communication exercises, you're learning what it is that each other likes, because that's the first thing you do is a self-assessment of what is it that makes me upset, or what is it that I love about what you do, or what is it that we need to improve. Yes. So, and that's how you build your communication. First, you have to know how to talk to each other. If I can't talk to you when it's time to fight, you ain't going with me. You're going to be like, well, you handle everything else. You know everything else. Handle it yourself. Do it yourself. You don't need me.
Remember you said that before. You ain't need me. And then, now you lost your backup, because sometimes people don't think as husband and wife. When you disrespect your husband or you disrespect your wife and then turn around, well, you my husband, you my wife, why should they respect or help you when you're being disrespectful to them?
And then we don't see it as disrespectful, because that's just the way I am. He married me that way. She married me that way. They know how I am. And then we never try to change, because we expect them to accept us like that. So then how can our relationship and our communication change if we're not willing to say, hey, wait, just like you admitted, yeah, I am a little rough. So now what you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have said that better. So what you gonna do about it? Oh yeah, we could have handled that a different way. So, but it's all in communicating. You'll never know. Like if you offend me and if I never say nothing and I'm just walking around hot mad, throwing down the plates, fixing your breakfast, slinging it to you, I ain't saying nothing. I'm just mad.
Hey, I ain't never had my breakfast slung at me, so thank God.
I'm just mad, but I don't feel like talking about it right now. Whatever. Do what you want to do.
I'm sorry, I don't have my breakfast slung at me. No. See, I understand a peaceful house. You know, it's a peaceful wife.
And then those that are not married, guess what? This is you're allowing someone, and you may want to be married someday, and you may not want to be married right now, and maybe it's not time for you to be married right now because you have to be willing to talk.
And you have to be willing to sacrifice.
Communicate
and sacrifice, because those two things going to go in together. Sometimes you're going to have to give a little. You can't win every time.
It's compromise.
It's compromise between
and you better stop throwing that
other.
man plate. That ain't right. That ain't right.
Listen.
That ain't right.
Listen. That's not how. That's disrespectful because you're husband and wife, and you won't want him to treat you that way. So don't treat him like that either. You know, because you said you love him.
Yes.
And that's not how you treat somebody you say you love. And if he loved you, then you have to love him too the same way.
Yes.
One thing I've learned in being married is when you have an issue where the other one is upset about something, you know, the first thing you do is like what me and my wife do all the time. If she was upset about something and I did something wrong, at least I know she'll come to me and say, honey, you know, I don't think you did that the right way. You said, she talked to me. She don't come at yelling and screaming at me because I'm going to get defensive. You know, so she comes in, honey, I think you didn't do that right. You know the way you did this or the way you did that. And I think you need to do that better because that kind of offended me. And that's, if you tell them just like that, that man gonna listen because he gonna say, wow, she came to me in a nice way. She ain't come to me all rough and mean. You know, she came and talked to me.
Yes.
You know, about the situation. But listen, wives, your husband will not listen if you're screaming. Your husband will not listen if you slinging his food around. Talking about you ain't gonna wash his clothes and you ain't gonna.
Look, we have a couple on here, which is our aunt and uncle, and they're watching right now. And they've been married for 64 years.
We're gonna have them on.
Yes, we are. They're gonna be our next couple. We're gonna set it up and make it happen. And 64 years of marriage, and she still irons his clothes. She still cooks his food. She still does laundry. And this 64 years. Now let's look at how long we've been in it. Could we even say that we can endure or last as a unified front? That's unity. That's walking in harmony. 60. Can we do that for 64 years?
Some people can't even do.
Look, some of us 5 years in and we tired already.
Hey, 14 years. Some people say the honeymoon is over.
64 years. Come on, that's a unified front. Could you imagine that many years? Some of us ain't even hit the 20 mark, and we're talking about 64. So if it's like this now, either it's going to improve for me to get to where I need to be in that amount of time, or it's going to go down the drain. And it's not going to last. When we're married, guess what? We are covenant partners.
That's it. That
we are bound by covenant. And what's that? That's an agreement, a binding agreement. And what we do it before God. So I'm in a bound covenant agreement with the one that I am in. And the problem is that people feel like, oh, if I don't want this one, I could just get a divorce and get somebody else.
Oh yeah.
But that's not God's design.
No.
God did not design that.
But guess what? You still gonna have that issue.
Yes.
You still gonna have that attitude. You still gonna have all that other stuff you have. So what, you find somebody else. And that person may not even take it 1 week.
Yes.
And be walking out the door. So you better check yourself and say, you know what? With the husband you have now, the wife you got now, and say, you know what? I can't act like this no more. I have to really change the way I speak. And that's where it all boils down to, where people, husband and wife, people who are in relationship getting ready to get married, learn how to talk to each other now. And keep that in your marriage. Keep that communication line open. Keep talking to each other. If there's something that's going on that you don't like, believe it or not, that's the best time to get it right. You know, if something bothering you, it's that time to get it right. Don't ever make the other person feel afraid that they can't come and talk to you. And if it's like that, you're going to have problems. Next thing you know, somebody going to be walking out the door because they going to get so fed up, they're going to just leave. Yes. So if you want to keep the marriage going, if you want to keep the relationship going, talk to one another. Don't yell at one another. Yelling does nothing. Throwing things does nothing. Fighting, yelling and screaming, fighting ain't gonna get you nowhere.
And then if I'm not even married yet and I have a problem communicating and I want to be married, guess what? I need to work on that now.
Yes.
And a lot of times we have this misconception that we're waiting for someone to complete us. We're waiting for someone to, but we should already be whole, already completed when they come, so that we add value to the relationship and then not worn out because we're trying to fix each other.
Can I say this? Okay. I told my wife a long time ago, I said, if me and her would have got together from years ago, before we saw each other 26 years, let's say we would have got together before that time, God hadn't worked on me yet. I wasn't ready to be in a relationship, to be married, because my trust issue was gone. I had no trust in women. So that's what I'm saying. God knows what he's doing when he does it in his right time. So God had to condition me. God had to get me to release a lot of those feelings I had, because God began to show me every woman is not like that. See, now you imagine if I went into a marriage like that.
Right.
I don't trust you anyway. All y'all men are dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
See, and the first thing that man gonna say, you know what? Forget this mess. I don't need this. You know? So the best thing to do is work on you. If you're not married and you're looking to find a husband, and we have it in our other book here, you know, how to look and what to look for.
The love cure for relationship
and I'm plugging it.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, we got some pointers in there. We got some things in there. But I want to tell you this, that if you are looking to get married to a husband or a wife, check yourself. Look at yourself first. You know, look in your own being. Look in your own eye first before you start pointing stuff at somebody else. You know, look at you first. What do I have to straighten in me before I meet my husband or before I meet my wife?
And be real.
Yeah, be real with yourself.
We know what we need correction in. We know if we have an attitude. Why? Because we know, we see it ourselves. And many people done told us we had an attitude. And then we expect for a man to accept, well, if he love me, he gonna accept me how I am. He don't want your attitude. You know the scarcity of men these days, and you want him to accept you the way you are? No. What is it in me? Because do I want to accept him with the attitude? So we have to see that it worked both ways. I shouldn't want them to be something that I'm not willing to be.
That's it.
I'm not willing to be that.
But you know, in a relationship, a lot of times, because I want to throw in with relationship, you're not going to see their flaws right away.
Mm-hmm.
When you get in a relationship, remember, everything is so nice. Oh,
Sweet.
y'all so sweet
Oh,
and loving.
lovey-dovey.
Oh, I love you. Fall asleep on the phone together. Oh, and you know, y'all so lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
And then wait a couple of years when you already engaged and you talking about getting married. You know, now I ain't gonna say wait a couple of years. Just wait till 6 months. After a while, you starting to get to know that person.
Yes.
Something in you start getting annoyed by some of the things that person do.
Yes, come on.
Sometimes I don't like the way you chew. I hate the way you chew. I hate the way you suck up on your straw. You know, it'll be the little simplest things.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be the little simplest. I don't like the way you eat. You know,
You have to chew like that.
I don't like the way you drive. You know, it could be any little thing. And that person over there said, and I'm finna marry him. I'm finna marry her.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better, don't go into a relationship with baggage.
Yes.
If you go into a relationship with baggage, that baggage is going to stay with you in that relationship.
Yes, absolutely.
And that other person going to recognize it, and they ain't going to want to put up with it for too much longer. They're going to talk to you first. They're going to give you your warning, talk to you first, and look, if you don't change, you stop yelling at me in front of people, at the mall, embarrassing me, screaming and hollering. I would have been a left you there by yourself. I'm sorry. I'm saying I would. I've been a left you there right by yourself. You'll be screaming at the air because I won't be there.
Look, Anselma said, she's been married 15 years. And she says, I'm still learning how to better communicate with my husband. And I'm learning more through listening and watching the both of you. Remember, you are being watched. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, that's but so you know, every relationship, every marriage, not gonna be, you know, like our marriage, because every marriage is different.
Because we've had our bad marriages.
We done had our bad marriages too, believe me. We both have. But we've learned from those bad marriages how we are to connect now.
Yes.
If I knew all this a long time ago, then I wouldn't have had a bad marriage. But we do suffer with bad marriage. But you should learn something from those marriages.
Or relationships
you've been in. Learn something from that. Is it me? Maybe I'm yelling too much, or maybe I'm
and be willing to change.
Yeah, or maybe I blame them too much, or I'm talking too much to them. I'm talking at them. I'm yelling at them. I'm not really mad at them. I'm just mad, but they're the first person I see, so I'm going off on them.
Yes.
So a lot of times we got to look at ourselves. What can I do better to make my relationship better? And one thing I loved about me and my wife, before we got married, we made this oath between one another that we would never yell at each other. We will never disrespect one another. We will never do things that other couples
go to bed angry.
Yeah, go to bed angry, cussing each other out. No, we ain't doing all that. We ain't doing that anyway. But I'm saying people do that, and it's good to really get it out in the open and talk about it, because now you know what you got to keep working on when you get married.
Yes.
So that's what we did. We had a plan together to work on those things while we were married, because a lot of times when you get married, you don't have a plan. You don't have a plan. You don't. And me and my wife had some nights where we had to sit up till we get some things straight. We will not lay our head, and we still like that. 14 years later, we still the same way. If there's a problem, we can't go to sleep till we get it right.
That's a unified front.
That's a unified front, because why? We're working on the issue together. I'm not mad at you. You're not mad at me, but we trying to get it straightened out. It's a disagreement. And I always tell people, me and my wife don't have arguments. We have disagreements. She's not going to agree with everything I do. I'm not going to agree with everything she do. So a lot of times you got to sit and listen. And then we have this thing we say, agree to disagree. So let's say my wife don't agree with what I'm saying. I don't agree with what she's telling me. So we find a common ground in the middle. Okay, well, since you said it like that, I can do this. And she'll come back, well, I can do this. You making a common ground break in between to stop anything that's going to start up. You break the common ground, because that's what people don't do in their marriage. Right. They don't break the common ground. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to say what I'm saying is right. You need to shut up. No, it don't work like that. Sometimes you have to give a little.
Yes. I want to put this scripture in here because it's talking about covenant partners. And this is Malachi, the 2nd chapter. And this is verse 13 through 16. And it says, so this is God speaking to Judah that had been faithless. He wasn't being faithful because the men were marrying women that did not serve him. And he began to call them faithless. And then he said to them, and this is something else that you do. You cover my altar with tears, with weeping and groaning, because I no longer have regard for your offering. I'm not going to accept it by your hand. And then you say, why does he not accept it? Why don't he want it? And then because the Lord was a witness between you and the wife of your youth, to whom you have been faithless. She is your companion and your wife by covenant. I have made you one with a portion of the Spirit in your union. And then it says, and what am I looking for? I'm looking for godly offspring.
Yes.
So God is saying, I made you one in covenant, and I'm looking to see what you're going to produce. And that production has to be done together.
Yes.
What have you accomplished? What have your goals been? Are you able to walk in agreement? What are you doing together? He said, what is God seeking? A godly offspring. What have we produced in our relationship together? It's been years. What do we have to show for it?
Wow.
You see that? What do we have to show for it?
Wow.
And it's, but I've unified you in covenant. I've made you one. I brought you together. So if you go, and this is in the natural, you're married, your wife, your husband, and you cheat on them, you're being unfaithful. And he said, I won't even accept your offering.
Wow.
Because you're cheating on the one that I brought you together with in covenant.
Isn't that is powerful? Because, we want to do things and we want things, all the time. But you got to look at yourself sometime and say, you know what am I doing? And if you're a Christian, sometimes is what am I doing that's hurting my marriage and hurting God? Because that's one thing. If God has to be in your marriage.
Yes.
That's the only person you have in your marriage. Not your mama, not your daddy, not your cousin, not your sister or your brother. God. Add God into your marriage and you will see a difference. If that person that you're with don't believe like you believe and you're getting ready to marry them,
problems.
They're going to be a problem because now they don't believe what you believe. They don't know what you know. Right. They're not equally yoked with you.
And may not be willing even to accept it.
No.
Because we have the misconception that, I'll change him.
Well, I'll change her.
Yeah. I'm saved. And we may not believe the same thing, but once we married, everything will fall in line. No, that's baggage that's brought into the relationship. And if we don't deal with it now, we're going to have to deal with it later.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether we're married or not, or down the road after we're married, we're going to have to deal with it.
And one thing, babe, too, that a lot of times people have this imagination. I know he's a little rough around the edges. I know she is like that, but she know I'm saved, and maybe if I just keep working on her, and I can't let her go because she look good, and I can't let him go because he look good, and he may not go to church like I do. She may not do what I do, but you have that imagination of you can fix that person.
Yes.
And listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, only person can fix somebody is God. And they gotta want to be fixed because God don't have robots. He allow you to make your own decision on if you want to be with him or you want to be in hell. Yes. I'm gonna just put it like that. Whoever you want to serve, that's it. That's your God. If God is not your God, then whatever you are into is your God. That's it. So you gotta realize this right now. If you're in a relationship, you're saved or Christian, and that person is not, and they, that man might have ran after you, and he looked good, and he's so fine, or he did go to church with me a couple of times, but he's talking about he ain't ready yet. But husband, who gonna cover you in the midnight hour? Who gonna be praying for you in the midnight hour? Who gonna be covering your home in the midnight hour? Because if he ain't saved, guess what? The devil can just walk right on in. Because there's no faithless. Yeah, faithless. That's it.
No relationship with
God.
No
relationship with God. No hope, no nothing, no interceding. You ain't gonna get no prayer.
And we compromise. Yeah. Because we want to be with someone.
Oh, but he looks so good. Oh, she looks so good. Don't you see how she wear that red dress?
And don't know how to pray.
But
come on, man.
Can't pray you out of a wet paper bag. When something going on, something happened, you looking at your wife, telling her, she's like, well, what you want me to do?
Yeah, absolutely. And you expecting, I ain't finna submit to this man. He don't even know God. But you married him like that.
You married him like that.
He ain't know him then. And you think you're gonna know him now?
Well, I thought once he see that I'm saved, and no, damn work like that.
Yes. I change him. I change her. Look, a person will not change unless they want to be changed. They may change temporarily for the time being to get what they're trying to get. Well, and then you think that they save, they praying, they have a relationship, and as soon as you get on lockdown,
look, here it go. He came to church, he gave his life to Christ. He sang. You see how good he sang?
You see that? Can sing?
He can sing.
With no anointing.
He can sing.
All right, Dr.
I ain't never seen good. And listen, I ain't never seen him pray, but he can sing. And he can sing from the heavens.
That's it.
But can he pray? Can he be that protector that you need?
Look at that. And look, we have one that said after 3 years of being in, they got out because they saw that this was not marriage material. Look, and then to get married just because we want benefits. Yeah, we want benefits, but guess what? Now everything else come with it. Yeah. So now I might be sexually active, but now we fuss all the time. We argue all the time. He'll never stay home. She'll cook me dinner. I mean, all these other things can happen. But look, now them benefits don't look like benefits no more.
And it's so embarrassing because most people are objective like that. You ever seen a horse and they have the horse blocked? So you know why they block the horse, right? So the horse don't get startled or see something that startles it. So it keeps it looking straight ahead all the time. And that's how some of men and women are when they get in a relationship. They so this way, they ain't looking on the side.
And God is saying, here's your warning. Don't do it. Don't do it. And we just like this. Yeah. Look over to the right. Nope. I'm trying to show you something. Nope. I'm getting married. Right here. I don't want to hear what nobody got to say.
I'm getting my fairy tale married. Come on now. But right there, because your mind is so focused on the wedding dress. Yeah. Your mind is so focused on your tuxedo. Your mind is all focused on, I gotta find one. Yeah. But you ain't looking on the side of you.
At the warning sign.
At the warning sign that God is warning come before destruction. And then once you done said I do, now all hell done broke loose. Yes. And you wonder, well, I didn't see all this because you wasn't looking. And
the signs were there.
And the
just
signs
didn't see
right
them. You're right. You
didn't
see them. Yeah. The signs were there, the red flags, the yellow flag, the green, everything was there.
And God sitting up there saying, well, I sent you this. I sent somebody to tell you this. I sent somebody to tell you that. You still didn't listen.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I can tell you this because I got married out of flesh because I wanted to be with the man after being saved. I want to 5 years. I would say it's 5 years. And I'm like, oh, I want to get married. I want to have a husband. Yeah, I got married. And I was praying, God, show me signs. Like, is this my husband? Is this my husband? And I was so anxious. I did not wait for an answer. You know when I got my answer? After I got married. I was and it was like God picked me up and say, this is not your husband. But guess what? I had already did it. So we so anxious, so excited. So I'm gonna do it. And then what if your answer come afterwards? Afterwards.
That's messed up.
That's embarrassing. Yeah, that is so embarrassing.
See, one thing I can say, I listened to God's warning. When I was trying to think about getting remarried again, because God sent me some cuckoo people to make me start realizing you just need to focus on ministry, and you're going to see that woman walk right in your door. You're going to know her.
Wait, what's a BBL? I'm a little slow and lame. BBL. Ain't no BBL going to get me. What's a BBL? What's a BBL?
I'm trying to remember.
I don't even know. Put it there. Tell me what a BBL is.
Yeah, tell me what a BBL is, because I don't even know what that is.
But I'm a little lame.
But
wait, you know what a BBL is? What is a BBL?
What? Brazilian what?
You know
Anywho,
we finna close.
Okay. Listen, y'all. Say you get me started, got me laughing. Listen. I'm gonna tell y'all something. You better be careful because, and then you know when, don't let nobody prophesy that you're gonna get a husband or you're gonna get a wife. You looking around, where she at?
Was me.
But hey, look at me. Where she at? I'm finding all these women coming out of the woodworks.
That was me. I was saved. I was minding my own business, and I think Apostle came to me. Oh, the Lord told me your husband coming this year. And then what did that do? I wasn't even looking for no husband. And that's what made me fall into error, because then once that was spoken over my life, here I was. Is that him? Is that him? Is that him? Is that, you see that? That's why we even have to be so, yeah, I did ask.
Yeah.
That's why we have to be so careful, even who we allow to speak into our lives. Because it could be that it could destroy us. Yeah, I did ask. Okay, I ain't gonna ask no more. I tell you that.
and sometimes you better know what you call your see. And we so caught up in looks, and how good the person look. We ain't seeing. Mm-hmm. You ain't seeing them when they got that wig off.
Look, now
I'm
being
being straight up.
Look.
Hey.
Now he's sorry. Come on.
Hey,
wait, what our topic is?
Hey, you'll see him when he have on his belly thing, with his belly all stuffed in. See, that's what I'm saying. And then when you done got married, now you sitting up there. I didn't know you had that. Well, your pretty eyelashes, they don't fell off.
What about the man that sued his wife?
Oh yeah, the dude that sued his wife. Cause she didn't look like that. He woke up one morning, he said he was screaming.
You know, we finna stop. It's just too much.
He woke up, he was screaming, talking about something. I didn't know she looked like that.
He took her to court and sued her. Like, are you serious?
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna sue your wife because she didn't look like what you thought? Well, you should have known. You should have said, let me see a picture with you with your makeup off.
Look, Donnell said his dad told him the first day for a woman is to the pool.
That's true. Donnell, you're right about that. Because you want to know if it's right.
I'm finna see my hair shrivel up. I ain't getting to know what. We done with y'all tonight. We done. Look, it's
Hey,
8 o'clock.
Darnell, you getting to pull her eyelash fall all day. You talking about what?
Okay, we done. What was our topic? Because this is just crazy here. I'll be laughing and crying.
We on the topic.
You know
What
what?
the on topic?
Look. We love y'all.
A united front.
Yes.
Listen.
We have to stand. Look, we closing as a united front. Darnell came on here and started stuff.
Lord, he started all that. I was already getting into it because, listen, I'm going to tell you again, warning come before destruction.
Mm-hmm.
If you got somebody, you better really get to know them.
Mm-hmm.
Know what they're about, because I tell you.
Know how they look.
Know what kind of, if they schizo or not. That's one thing you better look at.
Wait, then you almost get schizo.
Yeah, I did. That's what I'm telling them. Look and see if they're schizo. So, have you been going to a therapy or something like that? What kind of pills you taking?
I need to see your medication list. You know, we love you all. Thank you so much for joining. You know what?
Hey, isn't it so funny when you have to get that person out your car because you know they cuckoo?
What you did? Put on the side of the road?
No, I dropped them on the house. She said, "You coming out?" I said, "Yeah, what's going on out here?" She went in the house. I drove her out to come. I'm sorry. Then she tried to call me. I blocked her. I don't need no cuckoo stabbing me in my sleep. Oh my God.
Ooh, Jesus.
God be knowing what he be doing. God really be knowing what he be doing, y'all. I tell you. It's all fun and all that. But we cutting up tonight. Listen.
Darnell started it.
Yeah, he started. But listen, it's true though. It's true. You better be careful who you talking about you marrying. And you don't know that much about, all you know they look good. You better make sure, find out what kind of medication they on. Find out if they have issues, or, you better know something about
Darnell,
them.
I ain't reading no more of your comments. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I am done. We enjoyed y'all tonight. We love you so much.
You see my comment about the perfume. I know what you mean, Darnell. I know what you mean.
Paisley said her neighbor's banging on the wall because she laughed too loud.
Y'all bet, I'm telling you. When it come about destruction.
Ooh, Jesus.
I tell you.
Thank you so much for joining Unified Love Couples Ministry. Yes, we're here every other Thursday, and we will be here next Thursday at 7:00 p.m. Please don't forget to go to our social media pages. Yes. Make sure that you like, subscribe. Darnell, we love you. We love you, Uncle. Yes, we see you.
Yes.
Also, if you have not purchased your books yet, you can do so at Amazon.com. The Love Cure for Relationships and Marriage and 21 Days of Communication Builder. Look, you want to have this as a part of your reading regimen in order to build your relationship with the one that you are in love with, the one that you have married, or those that you foresee that you want to spend the rest of your life with. All right, we have Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So please make sure that you be a part. Also, if you need personal counseling, we do provide private individual counseling in order to build up your relationship. Go to our website, unifiedlovecouples.org/contact-us to put in your request for counseling. And last but not least, this is a plug-in. I release, by the grace of God, LaShawn Reese Ministries. Yes. So please go like and follow, share, and let the world know. Yes, I am here, certified life coach, motivational speaker, leadership development, apostolic covering, and of course with my dynamic duo right here, marriage counseling. All right. So thank you all so much for joining on tonight. Look, we had so much fun.
I want to say one more thing about the book, right?
Yes.
So for those that are in a relationship, make sure that the other person, you even, but write this somewhere in your book. What kind of medication are you taking?
Look, we got a book for you, Sean. We got a book for you.
You got to write that inside the book. Make sure you do that.
You're trying to start back up again. We love you. Good night.
Bye.